Welcome to Tampa's Table, a culinary journey. I'm Jeff Hauk. I'm Vice President of Marketing for the 1905 family of restaurants. And today, we're going out on the water. We're going to talk to Troy and Jill Manthey of Manthey Hospitality about their fleet and how it enhances life in Tampa Bay and allows visitors and locals to enjoy all the wonderful waterways of Tampa Bay. Welcome.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Jeff, for
having
having
us.
us.
Thanks for being here. I have an important question to start out with. What is your favorite, for both of you, each of you, what is your favorite flavor of Tampa?
Favorite flavor of Tampa, the Cuban sandwich.
Cuban sandwich?
I thought he was going to say cigars.
That would have been my choice. What is yours?
I love Ybor City.
Yeah. Anything that's served there?
Oh gosh. Coffee.
Yeah. Coffee. Why the Cuban sandwich?
Well, I grew up on po' boys in New Orleans,
Uh-huh.
so Cuban sandwich gives it a really good run for its money. And,
It's not that far different.
And I really enjoy it. And cigars run a very close second.
We'll
But
have a conversation. That'll be for a different cigar podcast.
That's
but
it.
Yes, absolutely. We'll smoke all day long. So when I moved back to Tampa, I grew up in St. Pete and then went away and worked in different places. And when we moved back to Tampa in 2002, I was like, I'm coming to cigar heaven. I can't wait. So I'm glad to hear that we are compatriots when it comes to tobacco. So tell me a little bit about how the fleet started. I mean, it's a distinct memory for me because I grew up, like I said, in St. Pete. And when I was a boy, I used to go out on the Captain Anderson. And that was a big deal to go out on a boat and eat.
Mhm.
And then my parents had boats, big and small throughout the years, back before you had to be like Zuckerberg to own a boat.
Mhm.
And we would go out to Egmont Key and, I lived on the water. And then I come to Tampa, and Tampa seemed very much shut off from its waterways in a lot of ways. It was a very industrial city for a long time.
Mhm.
There were buildings up against the water, but it's like you couldn't get down to it really. And then you guys come along and make it like a 360 experience for everybody here. How did your fleet get started?
It all started with the 2001 Super Bowl. So we were operating in Biloxi, Mississippi, and having some challenges there in a casino environment. So we were invited by the NFL to come over here for the 2001 Super Bowl and hosted some very nice charters here. And we were welcomed with open arms here in Tampa. And we saw what was taking place with the Florida Aquarium on the water, the Tampa Convention Center on the water, one of only a few in the country. Channel Side was coming online, Streetcar was coming online, Marriott Waterside. So
There's
it
lots
was
of little things popping up.
lots of things popping up. And so I said, we really need to seriously consider moving the operation to Tampa. And we spent about 6 months doing an analysis. And easy to remember, we were sailing across the Gulf of Mexico to come to Tampa when 9/11 happened.
Well, that's memorable.
Yeah,
And yet you still came.
we
Yeah.
still came.
You had a
And
commitment.
And Tampa was such a great move that, we instantly doubled the business that we were doing in Biloxi in 2002, and then grew the business ever since.
So what was it about Tampa that was sort of fertile ground for you guys to grow your business, Jill?
Gosh, I mean, just the need for doing events on the water and dining on the water and everything about the water. There just wasn't anything here. And so I think
No.
everyone just welcomed us
Right.
with open arms.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a distinct memory because you started out with Yacht StarShip, if I'm not mistaken, and grew that. And then I remember around 2016, you started Pirate Water Taxi.
Correct.
And I have this memory burned in my brain. My wife and I are in 2017 walking on the Riverwalk during the NCAA National Championship
Mhm.
weekend. And they had the big stage set up for Usher and Curtis Hickson Park.
Mhm.
And we were walking behind it, and it's like Christmas Eve at the mall. We're walking like this. There's so many people. There's people on bikes and walking, pushing strollers. And I look out on the water. I see Pirate Water Taxi go by. I see a tiki hut go by. I see paddle boarding. I see kayaks. And I'm like, I turned to my wife literally and I said, I guess this is Tampa now. This is Tampa. And the water taxi to me was like, oh, okay, there's the connection. And I'll never forget the first time I rode on it feels like my confessional podcast, by the way, but I'll never forget the first time I rode on Pirate Water Taxi. I'm like, I've seen Tampa, but I haven't seen Tampa like this. You see it from the river and from the water level, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what this is about. When you started Pirate Water Taxi, what was the idea?
The idea was connecting all of the beautiful attractions and parks we have in downtown. And when we moved StarShip here in 2001, we could see the transformation that was taking place. We thought we would be in the water taxi business by 2006,
Uh-huh.
but it took a little longer to build the Riverwalk. And frankly, Richard Gonsmark deserves a lot of credit, and he had a lot of courage to open Eulalie up at Waterworks Park. And really, his investment up there and the park being complete there and the Kennedy Plaza extension gave us everything we needed to say, let's pull the trigger and open a water taxi.
Gives you
It,
another stop and everything. Yeah.
it's awesome, and it's quickly become part of the DNA of Tampa. It's part of the sales pitch.
Mhm.
People bring recruits on the taxi all the time, show them the beautiful riverfront. I grew up on a riverfront in New Orleans back in the day when you could ride your bicycles through cargo wharfs and everything. And I understand Tampa was very similar to that. So I knew the transformation that was taking place as they were going to begin opening the river back up. And the river, make no mistake about it, it's our most scenic cruising grounds.
Absolutely.
So it's our Statue of Liberty.
It's fun to float
It's our
by rich
Golden Gate
people's
Bridge.
homes, but the river has so much combination of urban and nature and vitality. I mean, you go under a bridge and you're like, oh man, I shouldn't be here, but this is so cool. And yet,
Mhm.
it's just an entirely different experience. And there's a reason it winds through the heart of the city. I mean, it is every time I cross, I'm like, oh, we're near water. Yeah, okay,
Mhm.
this is a water city. And it seemed like we were cut off from it for a while, and you guys really opened it up. The water taxi, tell me a little bit about how that operates for people who don't know, and in terms of ticketing, you can buy passes for a day, things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we have hop on, hop off passes, so people can get on at any stop along the way, and or they can take an entire loop.
Right.
It's a whimsical narration, so they get a great narration of everything there is in Tampa, and then they can also do charters. We have special event cruises. We do sunset cruises, cigar cruises, all kinds of different special events throughout the year. We do things around Halloween, which are really fun. We do River of Lights
Mhm.
during the holidays. So there's
I've
a
been on
lot
the
of
Christmas
special events.
cruise when there's hot chocolate
Yeah.
and caroling and all that stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, this can be fun." It's not just transportation, it's sort of like a little bit of community, making memories like crazy on that thing. My wife and I, it was one of those brisk nights, I think it was probably 72 out, and, we're on it, and we're having cocoa, and we're singing, and I'm like, "Oh, this feels like home," It just feels like somebody put it all in a big pile together and put it on a boat, and you just so many memories.
And we have an
That's good.
exciting announcement about water taxi. We just acquired 4 new vessels, and we're making a multi-million-dollar investment in the fleet.
Now, what kind of boats are we talking about here that you started out with, and now what's the next generation?
So we started out with large pontoon-style vessels. We're going into monohull vessels with diesel engines,
Mhm.
very modern, futuristic looking. They'll be more black in tone than the yellow.
I
We'll
think
still
I've seen
retain.
photos online, like,
uh,
they're, like, sleek and black, and it's,
Mhm.
like, very cool.
They will be very fun, very spacious. All have a restroom, all have a bar.
Right.
But what's most important about it is currently we have 2 routes. We have a river route and an island route, and that's all because of a very low bridge, the beneficial bridge by StarShip.
Okay.
So what happens is, actually the Meridian Bridge, that bridge is only 8 feet off the water
Ugh.
in high tide, whereas all the other bridges downtown are 12 feet above the water.
And that's the one that goes to Davis
It goes to
Harbor
Harbor
Island,
Island.
right.
So in order for us to connect the aquarium and Sparkman Wharf and American Victory Ship, we had to build specific boats to fit under an 8-foot bridge. It's very difficult to do that.
Sure.
So these new boats will be under 8 feet and be able to do the whole route. So now it's a seamless route. You're not getting on and off. You could just go around, do the big loop, have cocktails, and you're around the water because your blood pressure is going to go down.
You can tell you're from New Orleans when cocktails are part of the conversation in
Mhm.
the boating. There you go. Now, speaking of low clearance boats,
Mhm.
you have a dinner boat called Craft, and I want to talk about the evolution of that. Where did the inspiration for that come from? Because I was so excited when you first told me about it, that you're going to take sort of a European style riverboat. You're going to go farther up north on the Hillsborough River. Tell me about how that was inspired and then what it's become.
I was always infatuated with the boats in Europe and London and Paris, with the low profile, Berlin. It just really is beautiful when you're
Mhm.
going right through the urban core. So I had the vision in 2001 when we brought StarShip here.
Mm.
So um, it took us quite a bit of time to execute it. It's also quite difficult to engineer 150 passenger or restaurant on the water that can clear 12-foot bridges. So, um, so we it was queued up, ready to go, and when the timing was right, post COVID, we decided to pull the trigger. It took
Sure.
us over 2 years to build. It is a first in our industry. We use gas cooking, which is unheard of in our industry. The chefs love it, as you know. They don't like electric cooking.
They don't.
And so that's a big win. It's an open kitchen, so you could look in and see our kitchen in action. So we interact with the guests there. And also, what's very unique about it is we have inside dining and outside dining.
Hmm.
So, and it's really surprised us on how many people go to outside dining, especially in the summertime. It's actually, on a hot day, it's quite cool back there with the sea breeze and river breeze.
Especially when
So,
you're underway and you get the breeze
yeah.
that's coming up, you're
So,
going
and
down.
our bar is super cool. We have a 1914 launch.
Your boat within a boat.
Boat
Yep.
within a boat. She'll name the bar.
Bow and stern bar.
I love that. So one of the things that people might not realize, it's like, okay, if you forget an ingredient back on shore, it's not like you can stop off. I mean, you really have to. It's a very specific operation that you have to have from a culinary standpoint. Having an open kitchen, I just know that, if you have a brisk wind or something, the natural gas is affected, the
Mhm.
temperature is affected. You really have to have a culinary team that's used to cooking indoors as well as outdoors.
Mm.
And wondering how the menu was developed to be successful, because I know you do dinner cruises, you do brunch cruises. I mean, the brunch, it looks mouth-watering. I think you have a stuffed
Oh,
uh,
French
stuffed French
toast.
toast. Yeah, that brought me to my
Delicious.
knees when I saw that. Tell me about how the culinary program, because it's great to do a boat, and it has clearance and looks fun and everything, and it's open. How do you find a cuisine to go with that?
I'll jump in. It's difficult, as
Yeah.
you know, because unlike a restaurant, everybody is seated at one time.
Mhm.
So if in a normal restaurant, you would melt any kitchen down
If
by
a
any
if a if
standards.
a party of 150 walked in, you'd be in trouble.
You're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
So that's where we start. But on the craft product, everything is freshly prepared aboard.
Mhm.
It's a different product from StarShip, so it is the most scenic meal experience that you can have. I love the name of your show because we say we take people on a culinary and cocktail river journey,
Right.
and that's exactly what we do. You're not going to dance, but you're going to have some great conversation, even greater cocktails and food. And it's awesome. So getting back to the menu, we have a corporate executive chef, Michael Russell,
Mhm.
who works on these menus 24/7, basically, designing things that we can execute with rapid growth, while also still providing the freshest ingredients that we can obtain. So
And it never
it's a
hurts to have
challenge.
it never hurts to have a Wagyu burger on the menu.
No.
And it's awesome.
That's a common ground for everybody, and then you kinda fill it in around that, but
It's a
It's
smaller menu, so, I
Right.
mean, but we do change it seasonally, so our locals, I mean, we've had customers who've been on now 6, 7 times,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
we've only been open for
Mhm.
a little over a year.
You and I had a conversation, we bumped into each other yesterday, and I have memories of growing up in St. Pete and going to Egmont Key on our family's boat, and my favorite food memory is coming back, at sunset. There's something about it, the food just tastes better when you're underway and you've had a great day on the water. I think that that's like a hidden flavor for you guys. It's like a secret weapon. Everybody talks about location, and Richard's talked about it. His father always told him, if you get a chance to be on the water, be on the water.
Yeah.
That's why we have the Columbia Cafe at one of your stops. We have Eulalie at the other. He tries to get his restaurants on the water whenever possible. You're always on the water, and your scenery keeps changing, and the weather changes, and the clouds change, and everything. That's like, again, a secret flavor for you.
It absolutely is. It's definitely a competitive advantage. When you look at our Yacht StarShip brand, 52% of the people that are cruising with us are celebrating something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And over 35% of our guests are repeat guests. I think we're the only dining yacht in America that the majority of its business is locals. And that says a lot for the culinary experience, the service they receive, and the celebration at the end on the upper deck with the DJ.
That's funny you said that, because during after COVID, when people were like, "Oh, it's tourists only go to the Columbia. Tourists only go there." And I'm like, well, if that's the case, we wouldn't have been able to stay in business. And what we found is 85% of our customers are local, and the rest fill in. Obviously, we're blessed to be in a tourism state and a tourism area and a destination. But if your locals don't like what you do, you're dead. You're done. And so the fact that you've had such a long run and a sustainable run, and you keep innovating, is a testament to your appeal to locals, I think, anyway. Do you have a favorite thing on the menu?
Gosh, we have an appetizer. It's a Nola octopus, char grilled.
And what's on that? Because that sounds like something I should leave right now and go break into the boat and eat.
It's got a very interesting hummus on the base of it, and just great flavor.
Right.
So it's delicious. And I also love the creme brulee cheesecake, which is to die for.
All right. I'm weak for creme brulee in all its forms. I was talking to somebody yesterday about pistachio creme brulee, and I almost started like weeping tears of cream.
That sounds delicious too.
Do you have a favorite thing when, like, you have people come from out of town and you want to baptize them into Tampa? Do you take them somewhere? Do you feed them something? Is there sort of like a introductory flavor or dish that you give to them?
Well, I could tell you this, when I'm captain in the water taxi, I haven't done it lately, but my go-to recommendation, and I would say 90% of the recommendations of our captains, are the 1905 salad and the Cuban at the Columbia History Center. Can't beat it.
It's like, if you come to Tampa and you haven't had it, you haven't been to Tampa.
It's a must-do.
Yeah.
So that's our go-to, our Tampa baptism. That's it.
Okay. Do you is yours the same?
I mean, the mojito isn't so bad either.
Well,
you got to wash it down somehow.
Exactly.
So the fresh mixed mojito doesn't hurt. And then the absolutely crucial question. This is going to hurt. Is it Tampa devil crab or is it deviled crab?
I think it's deviled.
Deviled with an ED. What about you?
Well, I'm going to go with my wife.
We're not going to divide a family. Okay, because we've asked everybody, and it's funny because some fall on this side, some fall on that side. I don't think there's a right answer. I think it's awesome. It's just one of those local things, So you are 5th generation captain.
Yes, I am.
And you have a 6th generation, 2 boys. Tell me, are they attracted to the water, attracted to hospitality? What's their future look like?
So our oldest has definitely followed in Troy's footsteps.
Is this Jack?
This is Jack.
Okay.
He's a captain, and he loves that side of the business. Our younger son worked as a deckhand for about a day, and then moved over to the food and beverage side. So he's definitely loving the sales side.
Right.
So I feel that he's gravitated a little bit towards my side, and Jack over to his side.
Deckhand is a hard job. It is. I worked at a marina in Gulfport for several summers. I had the tan lines along my ankle, the boat shoes to prove it. But yeah, that's hard manual labor, and not everybody's built for it. So I appreciate that. Does Jack have aspirations in terms of what he wants to do with his captain's life?
Well, he's currently captaining the water taxis.
Right.
Also relief captain on Lost Pearl, our pirate ship.
Right.
And then he's actually departing on Monday to go to work for American Cruise Lines.
Wow.
Which is an overnight cruise company here in the United States. So he's going to get some different experience. He needs to go out and see what it's like not to be in the family business.
Sure, I get that. Yeah, we have the same experience at Columbia. We have some that went out and worked in other companies and whatnot to kind of get that experience. Do you have any advice for him as a captain going out into the world?
Listen more and talk less.
Okay. Was that advice given to you?
Yes,
The
but
hard way or the easy way?
the hard way.
Yeah.
The hard way.
Do you have a favorite waterway in Tampa Bay that like you can't wait to get on that piece of it? Beyond, it might be the river, it might be the bay.
Without question, it's the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about it?
Well, growing up on a river, that's kind of in my blood, but it just, there's something different to look at around every bend. I mean, the whole scene changes, and you just never know what you're going to come across. And the architecture, the bridges, University of Tampa, Plant Hall, the Riverwalk. It's just so vibrant and energetic that everybody's hooting and hollering and waving at you on the boat. So it's no doubt it's the river.
If you've not been on a boat and don't experience boat culture, the waving is an important thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hello. We're having a communal experience here. Not to mention the fact of the marine life you see.
That's right.
Oh,
When I worked at the Tampa Tribune, I would go stand up on the roof and I would watch the dolphins come in and the manatees and whatnot. And I'm sure that they play around in the wake of the various boats that you have.
It never gets old.
Yeah.
When it's too hard for the dolphins to catch the fish out in the bay, they come to the easy grounds in the river and they pin those mullets up against the seawall and feast on. So there's a lot of activity.
I've seen that at Waterworks Park right next to Eulalie. In the mornings, if you walk there, the dolphins aren't feeding; they're playing with the mullet. They're like whacking them around for amusement, and then they'll have their snack. And I'm like, this is in the middle of the city, And as the tides change, the different marine life comes and goes. We might get an alligator at one time of day and might get a manatee on the other time of day. It's very, very tidal like that. Another important question: how do you? So you have a giant pirate ship in your fleet, the Lost Pirate. How do you manage and navigate in the middle of 300 boats at Gasparilla? How do you do that? I've lived on boats my whole life. I can't imagine the throttling and the anchoring this is not what I would call a sober environment for the people around you. You might be as awake as you're going to be, but it's a party atmosphere, tons of watercraft. Not everybody's a professional boat driver. How do you manage that?
Very, very carefully. We double captains on all the boats and crew, and we have a lot of safety protocols in place. It doesn't hurt that generally you're the biggest boat out there,
Right?
And you're steel. So anyone that chooses to get in your way is not going to win that battle. And our horn is certainly louder than anyone's.
You don't
out
have
there.
a live cannon because that would really
no. They won't. They won't let us shoot cannons from the boat. But we do give the horn a lot of practice that day.
Yeah, I know during the tree lighting at the Tampa Riverwalk, you guys sound the horn and it's like, oh, this is so much fun. It's just like, I know where I am now by hearing that. Any interesting Gasparilla stories to share?
Gasparilla is a story every year. It is.
Each one does seem to have its own
We
personality.
did this year. So a Lost Pearl, we were shooting from cannons, T-shirts.
Oh.
And that was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yes. And we shoot one every cruise now, so it's very exciting. So
watching the people catch the
tell the
T-shirts.
kids on shore, go deep.
Yeah, exactly. Just fire when ready. Well, I appreciate you being guest today, and it's been a thrill to talk to you about this. And I got to get back on the water and get back on craft again. And thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having us, Jeff.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Tampa's Table, a culinary journey. Be sure to like and subscribe anywhere that you're watching or listening to this podcast. And leave a comment. What's your favorite waterway? What's your favorite food to eat on the water? We'll check it out and let you know what we think. Thanks again. And until next time, we'll save a seat at the table for you.